Jay with Classic Kitchens, and for this remodel, we have a kitchen remodel that cabinets, countertops going to be removed. This wall actually comes down, the kitchen totally gets reconfigured. The refrigerator right now is on this wall, or was on this wall, and the range was on this wall. So we're going to move the range wall to this side, and then roll the kitchen into the formal dining room. Right? And so after it's all said and done, this wall will be gone. This kitchen will look really, really open, and you'll see a fridge and freezer on that back wall.
Hi, I'm Jay with Classic Kitchens, etc. And welcome to our latest kitchen remodel. I'm excited for this one. This one is another one where we removed a load-bearing wall, extended the kitchen out into the dining room. So we blew out this wall and extended the kitchen all the way over. Makes a lot of extra counter space here. And also we were able to fit in two side-by-side refrigerators. Now these are really cool refrigerators. They're from Frigidaire. They're brand new. You know, normally when you have built-in refrigerators, they're like Sub-Zeros. They are taller. They require venting on the top. These are kind of built more like a regular fridge, so they don't require any of that same venting. But they are side-by-sides, and they're only 74 inches tall. That's like a normal fridge. That's what makes them so cool. They're not as expensive either. I think these are like $1,800, $2,000 a piece, something like that. Where if you were getting like a Sub-Zero one, you're gonna pay like $10,000, you know? So it saves you on money, gives you that same look, and it's a lot easier for us as the installer to install. So you got 32 inches full fridge and 32 inches full freezer. Very, very cool. Another interesting part about this remodel is the vaulted ceiling on part of the kitchen. So as you can see, where we took out that wall, we had two choices. Either try to remove the whole ceiling, that's not gonna work. We have a second story above here. You'd have to rebuild half the house. So what we did was we just had the wall come up, you know, basically just to open up the space, but kept the ceiling intact, right? And then what I did is I just designed cabinets with a little bit lower profile so they don't hit the ceiling, because, you know, as you can see, this would have hit, you know, center, not quite center of the cabinet, but it would have hit on top of the cabinet. So you leave that little gap in there, and now it all looks correct, right? Something else to talk about when you're talking about vaulted ceilings are vaulted ceiling lights. These are normal can lights, so they're gonna have an angle that's kind of more this direction, where a vaulted ceiling can light, it adjusts inside the can, and it's gonna shoot more straight down. I think this is still good. We didn't have enough space to put the vaulted ceiling lights because the housing for them is a lot bigger. So these are just your normal ceiling lights. It's a kind of one of those things where it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, right? If you were sitting here, I think, and you were looking this direction, then the light does feel like it's, you know, coming a little more straight at you. Necessity is the mother of creation, right? So that's something that we live by in remodeling, because especially when you're in a house that you have an existing footprint, sometimes you don't have a choice. You have to make it work with what you have. And a lot of times it makes the space a lot more interesting than it would be. This gives the kitchen a lot of character. Totally something different than you would see anywhere else. And I think that's what makes it unique and makes it special and makes it amazing. That's my opinion. And like this part, you know, never would have noticed it. Now, that's the creative part about being you know, a professional remodeler, is that if I did put this all the way to the top, you wouldn't notice it more. You know, so those are the things where having the experience to, you know, design those things comes in handy. What was nice about that, extending it into that other space, I think I talked about giving you more countertop space, also gave you more cabinet space as well. So it just makes your kitchen another, in this case, it made it almost twice as big, which was nice. Gave us room for the fridges, because that now is a lot bigger than a normal fridge. And gave us a lot more base cabinet space and a lot more countertop space. So it just increased the size of the kitchen in general. So now let's talk about the actual design components of this kitchen. This is our navy blue painted cabinet. This is over a maple wood. It's a very, I mean, this is a very popular color. It's deep, it's rich, it's got a lot going on in it. Now in certain situations, especially when it's in the shadow, it can tend to look a little bit black. I kind of like that. I think it, you know, it just makes it look rich. So we have slab Drawer fronts, you know, we didn't go with drawer fronts to match like this. We wanted to accentuate the handles. So those are kind of your options when you're designing. If you did drawer fronts to match and you have the handles, that's going to be a lot going on, right? And we have a lot of handles in this design. So we ended up going with the non-drawer fronts to match, which means that they don't have the shaker profile here. They just are flat. White countertops, kind of like a marbly look. This one is Vittora white from Arizona tile. Again, another stone that looks a lot like marble. It's white and then a white grayish, and then it's got some like goldy browns and some dark grays. So it's got a lot going on in it. They're doing a lot of great things with quartz. Now, the one thing you want to remember about quartz is if you have something on your stove, you don't want to take it off and put it directly on the quartz. That can ruin the quartz. Also, because quartz is a man-made product, it has an acrylic component to it. It's not really going to melt through because it's mostly made up of quartz, which quartz is one of the main minerals in granite. Very hard. You're not going to melt through it, but you will like damage the surface of it. You'll take the shine away from it, and it won't, you know, have the same shine that it has now. Most of these quartz come in a semi-gloss finish, so some of them do come in like a matte finish. I normally don't recommend the matte finishes yet. I don't think the technology is quite there yet. The manufacturers are recommending to seal them, and this shouldn't have to be sealed. So that tells you right there that I don't think the technology is quite there yet. I'm sure it will be soon. Continuing with the design, went with a 30-inch range. This is actually a 30-inch. It's a 30-inch range with 6 burners. That's actually pretty rare. Normally, a 30-inch range does not have 6 burners. Then we went with a Zephyr hood. This has a little night light around it. Very cool feature on that. White cabinets on the uppers. Now this is a shaker style. This is from a manufacturer called Canyon Creek. That's my favorite cabinet manufacturer. I think they make a really good cabinet. This is their Caravel. That's the style of this shaker. They have other ones as well, but Caravel has a little bit thinner shaker profile on it. I went with the same handles as we did on the base drawers, so everything here is handles. Crown molding at the top, we kept it pretty simple. Backsplash. So the backsplash is a natural stone. This is all natural stone, different colors of natural stone. We have a white marble. Thassos has like a little bit of a shimmer, and it's mostly white. It doesn't have a lot of like veining in it, like your Carreras and your Calicutas. And then it has some, looks like limestone trimming it. And then it has another little marble piece in the middle here, this little circle. And those are like a grayish blue. Very elegant shape. And obviously having natural stone on the backsplash is really elegant as well. So you can see the whole space with the blue and the white, and then the mosaic backsplash. I mean, it looks really high-end. This is very elegant, you know, as far as a traditional look. But still, you can tell it's contemporary. One more thought about this hood here. You know, when you're designing your kitchen, you want to think about how you use the space, right? Professional cooks and everything like that, I would probably go with like a 450 or a 400 CFM. I know they make them all the way to 1100, 1200 CFM. I don't know when that's ever going to be necessary. Remember, if you do use one of those really high CFM hoods, you are going to have to do bigger ductwork. So if you're piping into existing ductwork, you know, a 350 or a 450, you could go into a regular 6 or 7 inch duct. You're going to be fine. If you're going to a 1200, you're going to have to upgrade the size of the duct to probably like an 8 or a 9 inch. What I find is my clients that get a 350 or a 400, they're normally not going past level 1 if it goes 1, 2, 3. So that's just another tip. You don't necessarily have to go to the giant 1200 unless you want to tell everyone you got a 1200 CFM hood, then I would go with that. Opposite the range, we have the sink area. And this actually creates a really nice space in between the two areas. You know, you got probably, I don't know, 9 feet of space. 1, 2, yeah. You got about 9 feet of space in between these two areas. Where before, this had a, you know, the wall obviously, and then it had a peninsula that came over here. Everything felt really closed off. Now, everything feels really open. You can come into it from the formal living room, You can come down the stairs and come in this way, or you can come from the family room or from the back patio into this space as well. So it's really now set up good for entertaining. So we have the sink centered on the window, and we put in 2 new mill guard windows, white interior, white exteriors, and these are sliders. So we have the one new one over there, and we have another new one over here. Oh, beautiful flowers here set up. This one used to be a taller window because this was in the dining room. And so we just filled in the wall, stucco patched on the outside and made this window counter height. Now you have options when you have counter height windows. You have it where the window is equal or even with the counter, and then you have it where you have a little splash. We went with the windows equal or even with the counters. We have a really nice view on the backyard, so we wanted to preserve that view as much as possible, so we didn't do any splash. We have a gray sink here. This is a quartz sink, double equal bowl, and we put the garbage disposal on the right, push button garbage disposal, faucet here, clamp provided, and then we have filter water. So this back wall now is huge. It doubled in size from the kitchen to the dining room area, and running countertops along the whole way. Now we have a really great spot for if you were entertaining, this could be a great area to set out the food. You form a line, do your thing. And then we have a bunch of base drawers over here. I love base drawers. They're 36 inches, so they're huge. They have all the pots and pans, strainers, bowls, everything can fit in there. So not only did we do drawers on the base cabinets, but we also did some custom stuff as well. So what we did is a pop-up countertop. So this is meant for like a mixer, and this is made called Remodel, and it's a pop-up counter, spring-loaded, so it takes some of the weight off of it. These things are very heavy, and it pops up. Now you can use it, clean out your bowl and everything, and then when it's done, you have these little things right here, and you pull it up, and it pops right back down. And then we did a slide-out drawer underneath it. And then in the corner we have our Lazy Susan, and this is actually a Super Susan. So Super Susans just basically have no poles, and it's all made out of wood versus plastic. So I prefer the Super Susans versus the Lazy Susans, but they do have a Lazy Susan style door. So that's these double doors. You got to close this one first and then close that one second. On the corner here, because we had such a tight space, we didn't want the countertop to come out square, because it closed off the area behind me here, which is kind of a seating area. So we clipped the corner on this, and we did some angled cabinets. So we got a little angled cabinet down here, or up there, and a little angled cabinet down there. Normally, we do the double trash and recycle. This one, we went with a trash compactor. Haven't seen one of these babies in a while. And this is brand new. And there you go, compact trash. So we did under cabinet lights, and they are dimmable. Hey! And then you can dim them back up. Perfect. We also did it on the top of these cabinets here, because this is a vaulted ceiling and we had this little extra space right here. We thought, why don't we add some lights on top of there too? And they are dimmable as well. And then boom, check that out. Just another cool feature, having some fun doing a remodel and coming up with some cool things, I think keeps it interesting, right? Last thing I want to talk about is microwave placement. It's always difficult to try to find a good spot for the microwave. It's one of the hardest things to design in a kitchen, believe it or not. You have drawer microwaves, that's an option. If you're trying to do a more upgraded looking kitchen, then you're not going to put it over the stove, right? That's normally for a kitchen that you just don't have the space to put in a nice hood and have the wall space to put in the microwave somewhere else, right? But if you can afford to lose a little bit of wall space, then you're going to put in a microwave like this. This is an upper cabinet built-in microwave. I'm 6'2", right? So this is actually the perfect height for me. But if you are in the 5-foot range, it might be a little bit too tall. Now there's a third option, but then you eliminate the countertop space completely, and that is a pantry with a microwave cabinet built in. It would more center the microwave. It would be like centered maybe about in this area, and then you'd have doors below it with storage, and then doors above it with storage. Those are your options. That's what you got to think about. Down here in the lower level, this is like a split level house, and this is the family room part. We added this little bar in here. This used to be, I think it was a dry bar originally. And so we kept it a dry bar, just replaced the cabinetry, new countertop, did some glass shelves on the top so they could display some stemware. Now, something to think about when you do want glass. If you want glass that's see-through, you got to make sure you upgrade the interior of the cabinets to match the exterior of the cabinets, right? So normally this comes with a maple finish interior cabinet. We upgraded it to the white so that it matches the exterior of the cabinet. If you did like a reeded glass, you'd still probably want to do that. If you did an opaque glass though, you could probably change the color of the interior. It's not going to be as noticeable. But I always recommend whatever you have on the outside of the cabinet, when you do glass, I'd put it on the inside of the cabinet too as well. And over here, we have a coat closet that we made into a pantry. Now, although we added so much extra cabinetry and everything in the kitchen, we still wanted more space. So we made a pantry out of this coat closet. So we added all this custom wood shelving. This is all maple, finished like a natural finish. You know, we had some options of whether or not we're gonna put like rollouts and all this stuff, but this is such a tight spot. I ended up saying, you know what, why don't we push it in and go to like 15 inches deep on the back and then have a little return on the side. I think it turned out really cool. Gave you a lot of extra storage space for, or gave them a lot of extra storage space for their stuff. I got a brand new product that we used on the floor. This is a floated tile floor. Now, tile manufacturers are absolutely getting crushed by the waterproof laminate industry. You know, they came on strong a few years ago. Now it's been tested. It's very durable, very inexpensive to install. So, you know, the tile industry has just been absolutely crushed by it. So now they're trying to fight back, and they came out with this floated tile floor. So this is basically like you lay it like you would lay a waterproof laminate. It's not thin setted down to the ground. It's got a click mechanism in it, kind of like a waterproof laminate, and then you grout it after you're done. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get a little bit less expensive to install, but you get the durability of tile, because tile is a lot more durable than the waterproof laminate, especially in direct sunlight. Now, waterproof laminate performs very well, like pets, furniture. It's a good product. It's hard to damage. It's easy to take care of. You know, there are no grout joints on waterproof laminate, which is a plus. But direct sunlight is a problem for waterproof laminate. It'll warp it. I normally don't see it like at a window. It's normally a door where the light comes really close to the ground when it's coming directly in and shooting on the ground. So anyway, so back to this. So we went with a tile, a floated tile, and then we went with a Schluter edge profile. Now this is like a little metal piece, and this is what we used for the stair nosing. Gives it another kind of contemporary look. It's like a more commercial style of stair nosing than just your, you know, this type of stair nosing here, which is like a wood stair nosing. And then we did some trim on top of the base. The trim that I like to use is a scribe molding versus like a quarter round. Quarter rounds will come out like a ½ inch. They come out pretty far, and a scribe is like half that size. I really prefer the scribes. They are a little bit harder to work with because, you know, you don't have so much room to play with. You know, the quarter round is, like I said, it's about over a ½ inch wide. You can make your cuts a lot faster, you know. This one, you got to take a little more time because the scribe is only half the size, but it's a little thinner, and I just think it looks cleaner. You know, as you can see, it just looks cleaner with the flooring. And that wraps up our latest kitchen remodel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. I totally forgot that we designed that in there.
And you next
I
time.
remember right when I saw the door, I was like, wait a minute, why do we have a door right here? Oh yeah. Here I go with the tape measure again. You wanna, can you see the, and let me see where I'm at this. And I'll probably, maybe we should do a little more on that. Oh, I did talk about how it increased the space size and everything, right? Countertop space, gives you more cabinet space. All right, anyways, let me just say that. So, what was nice? So, hey, this is, where are we? July 20 or June? Yeah, June 2021. We're sometime in 2021, people. Midway through. After COVID, no masks. I don't have one in my back pocket. It's all good. Okay, so, what is this? Caffe. What's the brand on this? Caffe the brand, I think, right? I'm gonna guess that the brand is Caffe. Or it could be the model is Caffe. Anywho, it's got 6 burners on a 30-inch range. That's pretty cool. And not quite sure the color of the limestone, but it's some type of gray, if I had to guess. And normally, I know you're thinking that I'm done, but no, I'm not done talking yet. And then I also did a pop-up. Let's see how this bad boy works here. I think you just pull it. Yeah. Wow. It just misses. Look at that. Oh, that's not it. There you go. So that pops and locks into place. Check that out.
I'm gonna do that again without the
messing
there
it
it
up.
is.
And then how do you? It's this guy right here. Yep, and it's spring loaded too, so it takes the weight. Oh, that's tight. All right. So the big drawers are really nice for all that type of stuff. You know, your pots, your pans, your strainers. I've probably said this a million times. Let's move on. All right, so we have another Caffe branded appliance here that I just found out is the actual brand name. This is Caffe dishwasher, and I mean, it looks cool. I'm not sure how they work, but I guess they're pretty cool. Something though you should know on an angled cabinet, no soft close. Get that? It's pretty wild. But that one has soft close, so maybe the top is allowed to have soft close, but these bottom ones, I don't get that. Something about the angled cabinets make soft close difficult, is what I've been told. Although this has soft close, which is interesting.
Can't wait for this blooper reel.
Right? Learn something new every day. No, I know that the angled cabinets normally don't have soft close. Now I'm curious because now this top one does have soft close. So maybe if the door's under a certain size, soft close is available. What I was told is that the hinges don't work on an angled cabinet. Soft close hinges don't work. That's what I was told. I was lied. It does work on a small cabinet. So, all right. Double trash, cans, trash and recycle. Thank you. Not actually sure how it works, but I know that they do work to compact the trash somehow. See if you can turn off the overhead lights.
Oh, turn off overhead?
Yeah, so we can just keep them. Oh,
I think we both did?
yeah, I think we both.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, that's the over. So
Yeah.
does that go above on
Yeah,
all of them?
I would put those ones on too, yeah.
I would, but okay.
I mean, it's on, it just seems like really.
They're very meek.
Yeah,
I'm recording this.
Yep,
So why don't we just use your footage for this one?
gotcha. All right,
I'll still record for sound.
perfect. I can still see the leg of your thingy.
Oh,
There you go.
get my legs out of your way.
Get your leg out. Okay. So we did under cabinet lights, and they are dimmable. That's your cue. Hey! Some glass shelves on the top so they could display some stemware, exactly. And then they put these cute little baskets in there too. I mean, man, everything is so nice and organized in this house. I love this house. Oh, and the trim. You almost stopped it again. All right. Ow! Thanks for joining me on our latest kitchen remodel.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. I don't know why I double pistol guns. Okay, let me try that again.